Got a 2007 stretched out. Peter built a new 3406. The cat likes a pull flying down the Interstate 13 on the stick. I got a stack of paper logs like we used to use yesterday when we still drove our trucks with pride. But now they cut back, my horse has got an E-log on the dash. Now I'm always running behind.
Welcome to today, and we're going to be sitting here with Michelle Sheets. Did I say it correctly?
Correct.
And she is oversees the orientation and what basically everyone has to go through when they come to Celadon, and pretty much every company out there. But we're going to talk to Michelle, and she's going to let us know what it is she does and basically what the drivers can expect when they come here. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, good morning. I am the orientation manager here for Celadon in our Indianapolis location. So when a driver comes into orientation for us, we say it's a 2.5 day process. When they're first here, they're going to come in, we're going to get driver's license, social security card, medical cards, make sure all that's good, make sure everything is valid, and get them set up in the system so then we can get their paperwork started for them. First day, we're going to knock out drug screens, physicals if they need them, road test. I don't know if different companies do them different ways, but our road tests, they're going to go out with one of our guys from the safety department who is trained for that, and they give them scores as they go for what they do out on the road. So that's part of the orientation process. Getting that is a big hurdle that first day. Watching lots of videos, which is usually not the fun part for drivers. I'm sure you've heard that's not something they enjoy, but we have our orientation curriculum that we require, which is basically every segment of Celadon, from benefits and payroll, maintenance, logs, everything. There's a segment for each individual department. Then from there, we also require ProTread videos that they have to watch. Hazmat has 4 different videos in that segment that they have to go through, and it does take some time, and it does take some patience to get through. So they'll go through those 2 different segments of videos, as well as the drug screens, the physicals, and road test. From there, it's basically other departments. We're waiting on every individual department to do their piece of the hiring process. They go through their MVRs, their FM reports, all that kind of stuff to make sure that they're an acceptable candidate for us. Then we sign a lot of documents to get hired.
Sign your life away.
Right. So sign in the documents to get you in the door, and then your payroll, of course. Sign payroll paperwork and get your fuel card, get your ID badge. So we get all that wrapped up and taken care of. And for a driver, it may be something to where I'm just, hurry up and wait. And I'm sitting around and I'm waiting. Some people are faster getting through the computer than others. But it takes each individual department to do their piece of the puzzle to get the file put together and have the integrity of the file where we need it to be to get them out on the road.
Awesome.
Yeah.
One of the things I've heard on my site, guys that have actually come here and other companies, where they go through the trouble of the bus ride or the plane ride, get there, only to fail their medical.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say it would be safe to recommend guys go get a medical done before you come? Not that it's one that you would accept, but it's just so that if there are any problems, they're not going through the trouble of getting on the bus, coming here, spending all that time just to be told you got an issue, whether it be diabetes or high blood sugar, whatever, any amount of issues.
Us, for Celadon personally, we provide their medical for them. We'll send them down for a physical, so it's not anything that they would have to pay for. We take care of that on site, and that's one of the conveniences of being the size company we are, because we have it all here in-house to be able to provide that. Because of HIPAA laws, we can't ask you any medical questions whatsoever. I myself certainly would not want to ride Greyhound for 17 hours to fail a physical. So I mean, if they did their own physical, we accept your physical if you have more than 6 months left on the card and that it's through the National Registry. So we'll accept a physical that you have prior to coming in, but it has to be your last one. I know what we find a lot of times is you took a physical for XYZ trucking, then you went to somebody else trucking, took a new physical, but you don't have that one on hand. So when you get here, you're trying to give me the one from XYZ. That's no longer valid because you took a new physical.
No, so whatever the most recent physical is that they took, that's
correct.
As long as it's within 6 months, then
Has
it's
to have
good
more than 6 months left on the card.
on the card.
Yeah,
So
otherwise
when
we
it's-
want to run you back through and get you out there for as long as we
make
can.
sure it's fresh. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I mean, I guess if you're you know, questionable about your health, maybe your blood pressure, your blood sugar, then have it checked before you come. A lot of people, I don't think they realize, you know, that they're not feeling as well as they could be. You know.
One of the other questions in regards to health too, a lot of companies are now requiring sleep apnea test. Is that something that Celadon is doing or going to be doing soon? Or
We do.
You do
When
do
you
it?
come in, everybody does a drug screen, and one of the other forms they fill out is for sleep apnea, which is just, you know, you put in your weight, your age, your measurements, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then they go down, and it's all based on, you know, the neck size. I think it's 17 inches.
Yeah, I know I qualify for the test, but
Yeah.
I actually don't have it, so.
Right, and that's they'll run you through, and they'll do we call it a mini study because it's like a 4-hour. They'll
Okay.
send you home with a little sleep apnea thing, or back to the hotel rather, and have you do the test, see if you hit the parameters for it, and then get you set up for that.
And this is no cost to the drivers too.
If they qualify, if they are going to need it in order to be, you know, out on the road, DOT,
Yeah.
they'll get you a machine to get you set up, and then they do a back charge.
Back
for
charge.
it.
So, but what I mean though,
Like
the
a
test
monthly.
itself, because I know from what I hear, it's very expensive to get done. And that's why a lot of guys aren't going to get it done, or they can't take the time. But it's nice that Celadon offers it right here.
Correct.
So it can all get done in-house, guys. So I know a lot of you guys have been asking that question.
Yep.
So you don't have to worry about it. It'll get done here. And Celadon does provide accommodations for while
Correct.
you're waiting. So that could also extend your stay a little bit too.
Right, right. And it's, you know, if your application is good and everything is updated and in place and where it needs to be, then, you know, you should be in and out in a couple of days, get you, you know, truck assignments and on the road and rolling. Because it doesn't do us any good to have them sitting around.
Well, yeah, nobody's
know.
making any money at that point.
Exactly,
So basically, from
exactly.
start to finish, if everything is perfect, if you will, or you know, somewhat perfect in a normal sense, so basically it's a 3-day from the time orientation, truck assignment, or
Well, getting you in the door, getting you here and on property, and getting you through the hiring process, we should have it done within a 3-day period here, you know, at the Indianapolis location. And then they'll go out for truck assignments. Now, if they're a company driver, they'll, you know, go out and see Jeremy and get assigned a truck. If they're leased, then they go over to quality. And
they
unfortunately,
get
I don't
their
know.
lease. Yeah, that's a little different.
Right.
I've heard
we're
from
not-
some of the guys it takes an extra day or two to get the lease portion done.
Yeah, they get new trucks in all the time, so
Yeah.
you know, we don't know what they have as far as they have 5 trucks today and 25 trucks
Tomorrow, yeah. So it's a
Yeah.
question of going over, picking a truck, and then getting your paperwork signed, your T's crossed, your I's dotted, and
Correct.
you're good
and
to
some
go.
drivers are wanting a brand new truck, and other drivers are wanting something that's used.
Yeah.
So it just depends on the inventory they have over there. But they'll go over, get assigned their truck, pick that out, sign a lease agreement, and then come back in-house to us so we can get them seated in the truck. So then they show on
Yeah.
our system that, you know, this driver is tied to this truck.
Awesome. All right, well, that's about wraps it up. I think it covers everything.
Okay.
Is there any special message you have for the drivers this week, being Driver Appreciation Week?
Just say thank you. Thank you for being out there and doing what they do, because it takes a special person to give that kind of sacrifice.
All
Be
right.
out on the road for the days and weeks that they do and be away from their families.
Well, thank you very much, Michelle.
No
We really
problem.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Take care.